Howdy. Today we're going to be installing a subwoofer in a car. First thing you need is a car. Second thing you need is a subwoofer. You're also going to want an amplifier. I found these two at a discount store for about under 50 bucks each. You also want speaker wire to wire the subwoofer, and you want to go to Walmart and pick up one of these kits. This was about $30. It's for a 1200 watt amp. We have a 1000 watt amp. So perfect. This kit comes with everything you need to hook up the amplifier. It comes with your RCA cables, comes with your positive cable, comes with a few zip ties and screws and crimps for the cables, comes with a grounding cable, and your turn-on cable. Now this goes to, this goes from your radio to the amplifier, so whenever you turn on your radio, the amplifier knows that it needs to turn on. You're also going to want wire strippers and a screwdriver. And if that is not enough wire, also at Walmart for about $10 you can get the 25 foot of this. I believe that is only 16 feet. It tells you on here. Yep, 16 feet. First thing you want to do is take the fuse out of this, and I'll show you why. The reason you want to take the fuse out is because once you hook this up to your battery and go to route it to your amp, and this piece contacts the metal chassis, which is also ground, then you'll have a nice shower of sparks. You don't want that. And that's why you take out the fuse. Super simple. Now find out where you want to put your subwoofer. I haul a lot of stuff in this car, so I've taken out the back seat cushions. That's where I put my other amplifier. That's in place of the stock amplifier. This is just to drive the speakers. The other one is just going to be to drive the subwoofer. I can fit the amp right here, and believe it or not, the subwoofer will fit right down in there. Our amp drops right in here. Seat goes down without a problem. Weight reduction. And the subwoofer somehow fits right in there. One thing you do have to be mindful of, the seat will hit this and will not go all the way back. But this is the position that I like the seat in, so it's not a problem. If a taller person is driving the car, you need to account for that. You need to account for the full range of motion of the seat. But it doesn't bother me. You also have to account for the back seats. In this case, I obviously took them out, and when I go to haul stuff, that's going to contact that. Luckily, it's very easy to take out. Just pop the two wires, and it lifts right out. Now we're going to wire this up, our positive wire. The existing positive wire for the existing amplifier is run under the floor, through here, through that grommet, and to the battery. So we're just going to add on to that. You're also probably going to need a snake. These are cheap enough at the hardware store, and if you do any type of automotive wiring, then they come in handy. You can see our existing wire, so we're just going to run this wire to pretty much just follow that. To remove this panel to run our cord through, there's a Torx bit here, and there's 1, 2, 3 Phillips screws that need to be removed. We will now route the positive wire under the carpeting and under the trim panel as shown. In order to avoid having to spend a lot of time removing the trim panels, we are just going to route the wire under. And this is why we take the fuse out. If this were to brush against here when it was plugged into the battery, you would have a nice shower of sparks on this carpet, which is flammable. If you don't have a wire stripper made for this thick gauge of wire, you can just take an X-Acto knife, run it around the circumference of the insulation, and it will cut the insulation, but it will not cut the copper strands of wire inside. Go ahead and crimp the spade connector to the positive wire. This is included in the accessory bag. Do the same thing for the ground cable. Weight reduction, bro. I will now splice the amp turn-on wire to the existing amp. Normally the wire will be spliced to the head unit wiring harness. The connections to the amplifier are easy: positive positive, negative to negative, and of course the remote turn-on wire. Included with the accessory kit is a self-tapping screw, which allows the screw to be installed without first drilling a hole. Before securing the ground, you want to be sure you scrape off as much paint as possible from the surface so you have a good connection. In this vehicle, it is not at all difficult to remove the head unit. Just 4 snaps to get this trim piece out of the way, and 4 Phillips screws, and the head unit is out. Unfortunately, not the best angle, but the red and white connectors are for the subwoofer left and right channel. One thing you should note when wiring your amp is you do not want your battery and signal wires too close to each other, as it could cause interference. My battery cables are routed on one side of the vehicle and the signal wires are routed on the opposite side, as you can see from this grade A drawing right here. We will now remove the passenger side trim panels in order to route our wire. We are also able to pull the carpet back and use that to our advantage. For only $10, there really is no reason you shouldn't have a snake like this. We're going to use it in order to route our signal wires up through the dash to our head unit. I have just come to the realization I should have used this light a long time ago. The camera work would have turned out 100 times better. We will now plug the signal wires into the back of the head unit. We will now secure the positive wire to the battery. Since we will be connecting a subwoofer, we will turn our low pass filter on, frequency all the way down, bass boost off. We will set our gain to normal, and we will, of course, plug in our subwoofer. We will connect our positive and negative wires to the amplifier. Since it is bridged, your amplifier may vary, but this is negative and this is positive, and you connect nothing to these. Since we have double checked all of our wiring, we will put the fuse in. Sometimes this does spark, so do keep that in mind. Just a small pop though. With the ignition on, you can see the blue status light of our amplifier. That indicates it is getting power. With our speakers unplugged, now we can tidy up our wiring. Now we can put our mess of interior panels back on. And we can drop the seat down to conceal the gutter wiring. And if you look closely, this actually does not contact the subwoofer. And there we go. Sound is installed in the sleeper Jeep. Why do I call it the sleeper Jeep? That's for another video.